Welcome to the second episode of the Football Opinionated podcast. I'm joined yet again by Bud, Chelsea fan, and Conall, Brighton fan, to discuss the...
Hello, everybody.
Hello,
welcome
back.
We are back, the boys.
So quite a few games, obviously 2 game weeks. There was the midweek games and then the weekends games. There was a game on pretty much every day other than Friday. We'll start with yesterday's result, which I didn't really want to talk about, but 1-0 for Brighton against Spurs. Connor was a Brighton fan, as you all know. What did you make of the game?
Harry Kane for me was a big one. I think Harry Kane and Mourinho's changing formation it was a horrible mix of things. I think, but I thought you were very bad. I thought we were really good. But yeah, I don't really know what to say about it. It's quite a boring game for a neutral, I'd imagine. But yeah, he did a job on you.
It was like put out Mourinho.
Yeah, definitely
scored and then sat back, but you didn't really defend that much because you didn't really have to. We didn't really.
It was definitely closer to 2-0, like Potter said after the game, than it was 1-1.
Yeah. Obviously, we played a weird formation, 5 at the back with Sissoko right wing back and Davies left wing back. I didn't really understand.
With Doherty on the bench as well, it's crazy. I know he's bad in that, but Sissoko was terrible.
Yeah, I just didn't really understand what the formation was. Why Vinicius didn't play? We played without a striker.
He scored as well, didn't he? Came on after 10 minutes and scored.
Yeah, he played all right when he came on, but I don't know why we didn't play with a striker. I thought you played really well, deserved to win, but I don't really know what our game plan was or what was happening.
It's so unlike Mourinho. Like you look at his Chelsea team and United team, where he's got a Matic or whoever sitting in front of a back four. It's the same thing every time. And that's what Spurs started with this season, and he's like slowly gone away from it. And Mourinho in a 3-4-3 is just weird. Like it just didn't work at all. Ndombele sitting in the middle as well. He needs to be further forward.
Yeah, but as
completely wasted there.
Make of it. Obviously, we were
I think in the Brighton perspective, it was a perfect time to play Tottenham. I think.
Definitely.
Bad on the form, and obviously it's like perfect timing. Like Kane gets injured, and you're playing in the game after. They're always going to be stuck without.
I was quietly confident, yeah, especially looking at your team where there's no striker at all, and it's just.
And I think as well, even though Brighton haven't won at home in so long, I think like every game they were going to play at home, they're still going to be pushing to try and at least get one.
Also, always better against the big teams. Like played during the start of the season. We should have definitely got something like that United game, obviously, drew to Liverpool. It was going to be a hard game for you. Without Kane, I was quite confident that way.
Yeah,
I feel like you do have obviously good players as well, but like missing Kane, like he is your best player.
That was the thing. I said to you before the game, Joe. I knew we'd have them like majority of the play, but it's just depending on if we can score or not. Because it takes one counter attack from you, and you're 1-0 up, and that's game over really. Because as soon as you sit back, we wouldn't have been able to score because you came out with us a bit. I played a bit more expansive.
I just think without Kane, we don't really have a goal threat. Like Son wasn't really.
He's useless without Kane, isn't he?
Yeah,
he really is.
Yesterday, and then obviously it's like 90% of our goals have come from Kane or Son. I don't really see what Bergwijn does. He doesn't really do anything.
He was okay. He's just a bit ineffective, really, isn't he? He was trying, but
he hasn't scored all season. If you're a winger and you haven't scored all season for a top 6, you're not really a winger. And then Bale,
that's true.
So he's come for a large.
Bale's just that's crazy.
Yeah, he's like a mascot.
It doesn't look like he cares at all. It sounds so bad, but it just don't look like he cares like one bit.
Yeah, I don't really see the point. It's just a waste of wages. Like I'd rather a kid be playing it. It's just pointless. But I don't really see where we're going to go going forward. Obviously, we lost to Liverpool as well, 3-1 last week when Kane got injured, and they completely battered us. A lot of people want Mourinho God now. Do you think he should stay or do you think he should go?
Oh, you got to give him a bit more time.
Yeah,
I am worried for you, but you got to let it play out for a bit longer. I think
he's obviously a world-class manager, so I think definitely give him time. But I think he had this whole January, and surely he should be seeing that he needs to get signings. And obviously, there might not be players like available or whatnot, and like who he can bring in or not. He still should be able to sign players, I think.
The only thing I would say is I'm a bit worried for you because it's all unravelling very quickly. Like with Aurier being left out, Rodon's come in. Like there's loads of just strange formation changes. Kane getting injured. It seems like it's going from like cloud 9 to the ground straight away. Like it's just free falling at the moment. Everything's going wrong. Dele Alli as well. Like it's crazy.
I saw a funny tweet. This is like Mourinho's third season at United. Spurs have just skipped the success. It's like he's fallen out with players like Dele Alli, completely out when he may not have had the best last couple of years, but he's better than Lamella, Lucas, Bergvin. He's better.
He's got to be. I mean, based on that performance, he's better than all of them. Yeah.
And then obviously he's fallen out with Aurier. Alderweireld was out the team, then back in. Dyer's out yesterday.
Now Dyer's out as well. Yeah.
Just seemed to fall out with everyone. Obviously Aurier apparently left at half time in the Liverpool game as well. It's just
that's crazy. That
I don't
mental that.
We're going really.
Everyone thought he was having a good season as well, getting him all these compliments, and then before you know it, he's storming out at half time. It's only Mourinho could do that. Like, it's so strange.
I just think the football's awful. So when you're not getting results, it's a bit like, what's the point in him being here? But
that's a good point. Yeah.
I think he should have a bit more time to turn it around. But I wouldn't be that bothered if he went tomorrow, to be honest.
No, what would you change, Joe? So like, what can he do? Obviously, you know, he can do stuff a lot. What's the best outcome with the squad you've got now?
Yeah, I get it's hard because of the squad. Like, he has to play defensive football because we don't have a good defence. If he plays expansive like against Liverpool, we get torn apart.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Dele Alli come in and be given a chance. If he does bad, if he plays 4 or 5 games, plays badly, fair enough, put it back out the squad. But give him a chance. We need another goal threat other than Kane or Son. I'd like to see him given a chance. I'd like to see just regularly the same formation and trust 2 centre-backs and give them a run in the game. Like, I'd go Toby, Alderweireld and Rodon as the 2 centre-backs and just trust them and give them a few runs. Like, he keeps changing who's playing centre-back and whether it's 2 or 3. Like, no one's got a set formation. And
no.
It's so unlike Mourinho as well, like, to do that. It's strange.
And if Kane's not playing, play Vinicius. You might not think he's good enough, but why you decided?
It's just having that striker figure, isn't it? Like, second he came on, more structure and shape. You had like more attacks got going.
And not when we lose him, don't bring Lamella and Winks on. Bring on more.
I think Lamella's a lost cause. I couldn't stop laughing when he shot from 40 yards. It's like, what are you doing? Just have it, shoot. I don't care. He's not scoring from there.
The fact he's last the plot seasons is a joke. Like, yeah, I think the big issue is we need defensive players. We've never really replaced any of our defenders.
Never replaced Vertonghen, yeah. As soon as he went, rode on.
It's weird for Mourinho because all the previous clubs he's been in, he's always been like so set in stone with his defence. He's always had 2 like defenders he can just always rely on. Like, I remember at Chelsea, like with Terry and Carvalho, that's literally just always them 2. And he's everywhere he's been, though.
I think the issue is we haven't got anyone who's actually
good.
That's a good point.
We haven't got one class centre back. Maybe Alderweireld, maybe, but I think
on his day, not at the moment.
Yeah,
he wasn't very good, I didn't think, against us as well. Kicked the ball out of play so many times.
Yeah. The only thing he did good was that clearance.
Oh yeah, that was incredible. To be fair, Conley should have scored.
It's a good result.
That's huge.
Yeah, I think that might propel you to stay up now. Obviously, you struggling a bit at the start, not scoring enough goals, and you drew to Fulham in the week. But I think that result sort of lifts. We're
still not scoring enough goals, I don't think. Our defence is so much better now. Like 3 clean sheets in a row. Matt Ryan leaving helped massively. Like Sanchez is just such a presence in the goal. Like, just seems to really sort us out.
And you got Lamptey to come back as well. I think when he comes back, you might.
Yeah. We've missed him so much. We're such a slow team without him. Like.
Yeah, and then talking about the Liverpool result, I think Liverpool, they beat us 3-1 and then beat West Ham 3-1 despite missing quite a few players. I think they're looking quite positive again. I think maybe challenge for the league, especially today. They've apparently close to signing Kabak from Schalke and Ben Davies from Preston. Do you think they look back to their best?
I think they do, definitely, and obviously I don't think they've had that bad run of form, but they're always gonna, with the players they've got, I think they're always gonna look class, even with the injuries in defence. With their front 3, they're always gonna look quality. And when Salah's on his day, then he can just change that whole front 3 from scoring no goals to scoring loads of goals and assisting loads of goals. So I think it's just gonna be really tight. It's so hard to call at the minute. It's even like the top 8. It's so hard to call. Everyone's everywhere. Game in hands everywhere. Just it's hard.
I
very
think
hard.
Trent and Nat Phillips for Liverpool made a huge difference against West Ham, because that goal against Spurs Trent scored, that's helped him big time. He's got better since then. And I don't think he was very good before then. He had a kind of a shaky run of form. They didn't know what centre back to use, and it didn't look like that. It didn't look like that at all against West Ham. But they had a set back four. It looked organised, like not what you see from them recently.
Well, the only thing I'd say, I don't think West Ham put them under enough pressure really
Yeah, they weren't great
in this season, but I thought that Phillips played well, and with them bringing in 2 defenders, I think, and they'll push on now. I think.
Yeah, it's surprising for West Ham not to put the pressure on, because they've been, since the start of the year, they've been unreal, to be honest. And now we've had Antonio back as well, and probably the best shot of them beating Liverpool, in my opinion.
Didn't really go over it, did they? I think that's David Moyes to do a bit. David Moyes is very defensive. He's always going to sit back. And
see why Liverpool didn't start Mane, Firmino, and they had Henderson and Phillips at centre back. I thought they could have got at them more, but credit to Liverpool, they played well.
Kiri had a good game as well, which helped.
Yeah, true. Salah scored 2 as well. People were writing him off a few games ago, but I believe he's now top scorer in the league by goals.
Quite a bit, yeah.
Do you think he's gone underrated this season?
Definitely.
He definitely has.
Especially compared to previous years. Like, he spoke about so much. This year, not so much.
Yeah.
I think that's a difference between like a Spurs and a Liverpool, to be honest, because when you take Firmino and Mane away from Salah, he can still score goals. And if you take Kane away from Son and players like that, they just fall to pieces, really. So I think that's what's good about Liverpool. You take that front three apart, and they can still go on their own.
Yeah, that's
true.
Incredible. I thought the touch and the finish.
That goal was incredible.
Yeah, lovely goal.
Trademark
Salah goal. Yeah. No, it was good.
Back to classic Liverpool as well, really. Like, Thiago was rumoured to be like slow, not rumoured, but like people saying he's slowing them down and stuff. Not based on that game. Like, they were back to their kind of dangerous, I guess you could use, self with the counter-attacks and stuff. That's been missing as well, I think.
Yeah, I think they were sort of, even in the first half, passing it too much. That might sound stupid, but not really.
Not direct enough, yeah.
Yeah, like making proper forward passes. It's all just a bit like tippy-tappy around the box. Whereas I think second half they made like more counter-attacks, more like forward passes.
Yeah.
And then, so with Liverpool challenging, you could say City obviously won their 2 games this week, 5-0 against West Brom and 1-0 against Sheffield United at the weekend. Now top of the league. Do you think they're going to run away with it, or do you think it will be tight?
I think City will run away with it still. I think with the injuries Liverpool got in defence, they are bringing in players, but are they going to be game changing for them? I mean, it's probably better because they're actually bringing in a centre back instead of bringing Henderson and dropping him back to centre back. But I feel like the depth in Man City squad, even without an Aguero or even now with De Bruyne, I think they still got the players to easily walk away with the league, definitely.
Yeah,
and their defense looks solid. Like,
I would agree with you usually, but like you said, the defense is incredible. But I don't see how they can run away with it without De Bruyne and Aguero and players like that. I know they've got Jesus and people like that, but I think he's had a poor season. I think Foden hasn't scored or done anything really in like a few games now. I think their goals will be harder to come by now without De Bruyne, obviously. So I think they will win the league. I agree with that, but I think running away with it without those attacking players, it's going to be hard. The defense is incredible, like you said.
I think Jesus is City's level. I think he's a good player, but
he's not good enough for me. No. Yeah.
Compared to
he reminds me of Iheanacho a bit. Like, Iheanacho looked incredible at City, and he went to Leicester and just haven't spoken about him since. He's a bit better than Iheanacho, obviously. But
I find Jesus a bit too greedy. I feel like if he like not being too greedy and getting the positions more, he'll score a lot more goals. But he has players like Gundogan, Torres, Bernardo Silva, and all that behind him. They can easily pick him out of pass in a flash. So, but yeah,
I think Gundogan will be player of the season person for City.
Oh yeah, he will. He's so underrated. He's unbelievable. Yeah, he's unbelievable.
Yeah,
very very good.
De Bruyne and that, but I think Diaz and Gundogan have been 2 biggest changes for City this season. Gundogan last season.
I also think that Cancelo as well. He's been so good. Every time I watch City, he's everywhere as well. He's just a set in stone
He's
right
a
back.
goal threat, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, he's literally everywhere.
They're going to need players like that as well without De Bruyne. Like they're going to need a Cancelo popping up with a goal, because there's going to be some games like Sheffield United and the Brighton game where they won both of them 1-0, didn't they? Like if they didn't have those kind of players popping up with goals, then they're going to end up drawing them 0-0 or maybe even losing them 1-0.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, so I don't know if they'll run away, but I do think they'll win it. I think if Aguero can get back fit, I'm not sure if he's injured at the moment. I think he might have had coronavirus. But
I think so. Yeah.
There's something weird going on because he came back to the bench for a few games, didn't he? And then
yeah.
I think he might have had contact with someone, then he got it. But I think without him, they don't. He's just like a lethal finisher. Whereas Jesus,
I think isn't De Bruyne only out for a month as well?
I think it was originally
roundabout then, isn't it?
Yeah, I think they can handle a month without him. To be honest, so he'd obviously be a massive miss, but I think obviously it feels like 2 months would be a bit different, but a month's not too
missing
bad.
the Liverpool game though, isn't it? That'll be huge.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah,
I think they got a few games coming up. They've got Liverpool. I think they've got someone else, and they got, I would say, a hard game. I don't think it will be a hard game, to be honest. And then I think they've already played away at us, away at Chelsea, away at United. They've played Liverpool once already. I think the second half of their fixture list might be a bit more favourable as well.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I'm surprised they didn't sign him in January though. You'd think with the injuries, maybe they would have.
Yeah.
But
I think money is a big thing. They spend so much recently.
Yeah, that is
coronavirus and that.
They spend it all on the defence. I mean, their defence is sick, but they just spend it all on the defence.
They're lacking attackers now, ironically.
Yeah.
Not really lacking attackers, that's obviously not the right word, but strikers, I'm trying to say. Have one striker and he's not great.
They have spent on the defence, like Diaz was well spent. Like I think he is incredible.
They finally got it right, didn't they? They tried with Mangala and people like that. They finally clicked it with Diaz.
Mangala.
Stones like a flop for a while, didn't he? Now he's come back into it.
Yeah, he's only like 20.
Look at Fernandinho centre back. They tried that as well.
Yeah, they were struggling for ages, weren't they?
Season.
They finally got it right.
Yeah.
Diaz is unreal.
And Chelsea.
So young as well.
Tuchel got his first win for Chelsea. What do you make of it, bud?
Yeah, it's good. It's obviously early to say anything, but we look good. We look solid. I think sometimes our players kind of don't really know what formation we're playing. We're kind of a 3, then a 5, then maybe even a 4 sometimes in the games. But no, everyone looks like they've adapted to it quickly, and we are looking good. I think he's going to bring the best out of most of our players, especially Adoy. At the minute, he's looking class down that right. So it's good. It's all looking good. It's all looking good.
It was weird team news though. Like obviously, Alonso played left back, although he scored. Reece James on the bench.
Back from the dead, Alonso.
Yeah,
it was strange.
It's weird. It's a weird one because he hasn't played in so long, and he played 90 minutes, like just straight in there. Which
played well as well, weirdly.
Yeah, he played well. Which it's the formation as well, because obviously under Conte he was so good that season. We won the league, and obviously he's used to that position. But throwing him back in there was a weird one. Obviously, gets a goal and played well. So, and it's perfect time.
He didn't have to do any defending against Burnley.
True.
No tricky winger for him to deal with. He's all right.
It'd be a hard one because obviously Chilwell's been unreal for us, and obviously we needed a left back, so he was the perfect signing. But now we've got Tottenham coming up. Alonso does love a Tottenham, but I feel like Tuchel only played him because Burnley is such a direct team, and Alonso's height played a big factor.
That's what he said, isn't it? Yeah, the height.
Yeah, the height. So yeah, but no, it's a weird one. But I feel like as a new manager, you have to come in and start. You have to try different players and like start players you don't normally start and just see. You just never know. See what they can do. So, but it's looking good. It's looking good.
The only thing that worries me in terms of England is Reece James. That really good start of the season, and he hasn't played. He didn't start either game.
Yeah, no, which is it's a hard one as well because obviously playing a 5 back and having Adoy as a right wing back, you would like to see James be a right wing back, but I feel like as Adoy gets up the pitch so much and he's a threat in front of goal, it's going to be a hard one. I don't think you can really play Reece James in a 5 because Azpilicueta is used to play as a centre back, so you could probably give Reece James a go there, but
because Reece James is built like a proper right hand sided centre back.
Yeah, exactly.
Strong.
Yeah.
He's about the right height.
I don't
powerful.
Think Reece James will play against Spurs on Thursday. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think.
Trust Adoy's defensive against Son. I don't think if Son plays on the left, which he did.
It'd be a good game to bring him back in for, I think. Yeah.
I feel
Yeah,
like-
that's definitely true. But I also feel like having Spurs' defence been a bit shaky, and especially your left side, I think Tuchel will get Odoi to target that left side as it's looking weak at the minute.
Is Reguilon back for that game? Because if he's not, then yeah, Davies was
Yeah,
terrible against Brighton.
Yeah, Davies is just so average. Like, that's even kind calling that.
When Gross
How
is doing
long-
it for pace, you know you're in trouble. Like, it was bad.
How long is that Reguilon out for?
I think another couple of weeks, they said.
Oh,
I don't know. Yeah, we just
that's it.
look so much worse without him. Like, he's so good attacking and defensively.
Yeah, I feel like the game on Thursday is hard. I think like I would like to think we'd win, and I hope we win, of course. But it's just a typical Chelsea thing. Like it happened against Arsenal, they have such a bad run of form, and they come and beat us 3-1. For like you're not playing well, your defence is shaky, but we'll still somehow find it a struggle. I feel like, especially with Mourinho and how defensive he is, it's just going to be another game where we're just going to have the ball and just have to try and like slowly pick you off.
It's one of those games where it's like massive for both managers. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
get the fans on side, and then Tuchel, like, it could kickstart his.
Yeah, it's his first proper derby, and it's the biggest one of the season. So
First big game as well, really. Like,
yeah,
too much. Burnley played awful. Like, this is his first game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was going to say
probably.
Burnley having absolutely no chances. If Chelsea can defend the same way against Spurs with no Harry Kane, it's going to be a very hard game for Spurs. I think if Chelsea just have that same.
I think at the minute our defence is looking solid. I think Thiago Silva's come in and changed our defence. I think he's been unreal this season. Probably one of our most our best players this season. In fact, as an impact and how good he has been. But I don't know, because obviously Zuma's under Frank Lampard. Zuma was playing unreal, scoring a lot of goals. We're still getting our clean sheets. But then obviously Tuchel's come in. Don't know if it's a German thing or what. Like he's playing Rudiger. So I don't know what's going to happen there. But our defence is looking good at the minute. And obviously Mendy and goal. He had about the last two games. He hasn't had. I think he's made about one save in the last two games.
It'll definitely be hard for Spurs to score without Kane against them.
Sure.
Yeah, definitely. That's massive.
The issue is Kane's our creator and our goal scorer. He creates the goals and scores them. And I think they went off injured as well against Brighton. So I don't know if he'll be fit. If he's not fit, then I think Chelsea will definitely win. But
it's hard. It's a weird one because it's the same. You can say the same with like Maddison and Vardy for Leicester. Like Vardy not being fit, it has an impact on Maddison. He won't get more like the assists he can get because he just lays off Vardy all the time. And I feel like obviously now Kane's injured, as you said, kind of like Son's not going to be at his best.
Yeah. Have you seen a change in Werner since Tuchel came in, or do you think he just still looks?
Not really. No, I think he had a big chance. He had a few chances against Burnley. One being like, did you see it when he like cut it to the edge of the box and he like completely missed it?
Completely missed it. Yeah, it's terrible.
I think it's just the thing. Like everyone knows he's got the quality, and I just think he just needs that one or two goals to actually get him going again. I feel like once he gets like the goal,
I thought that was the Southampton game though when he scored that great goal when Roman played. I thought that was going to be it. I thought that's it. Now I think it come from there.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's a hard one. But it's a hard one to judge as well. Like, do you play him again? Do you want to trust him again?
Yeah.
I don't know if against Tottenham he's going to play like a Giroud.
Yeah.
Like I think having a Giroud we missed him when we drew 0-0 to you. I think if we played Giroud the last game, we probably would have won that. The chances we're putting in the box. I think Abraham is capable of doing it, but Giroud's obviously he's probably one of the best in the world, being a target man up front and just being a poacher. So that'd be a hard one. It'd be an interesting game.
First season, most players are a bit shaky. Apart from like Bruno Fernandes, I don't think any players really hit the ground running in their first season.
No, and it's only been like 5 months into the season as well. And I think people are writing like him and Havertz off. I think Havertz is only 21. Like he's still got so long ahead of him. So Hazard didn't have the best of seasons when he first joined Chelsea. Even Lampard said he didn't even have a best start. So he just needs to get used to it. And I think once they both click, then I think they'll both hit the ground running when they both click. So fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
And then another title contender, Man U, had a pretty bad week as well. What most top teams did this week. They obviously lost to Sheffield United 2-1 in the week, which Bud actually called in the last.
I called that one.
I can't believe you got that right.
I had a sneaky feeling. I did have a sneaky feeling.
So that was a pretty good shout. And then they had the 0-0 against Arsenal on the weekend, which was extremely boring.
That game just annoyed me, I think, because any neutral watching that game, it's like just attack each other. Like United had so much to go for, and they just didn't want it.
Yeah, I just feel like they're such a weird team. I think there's one there. It can be so, and they have so many.
That's what Gary Neville said, isn't it? They're an odd bunch or something like that.
It's weird, and like Pogba, Bruno, like they'll have amazing games that like some of the best players in the world. Then against Sheffield and Arsenal, they look like they couldn't even play for like any other top 10 team.
Yeah, it's like all the big games this season for United. Like Bruno Fernandes has gone missing in all of them.
They beat a top team this season. They lost.
No.
They just seem to draw them all, really, don't they?
Yeah. But no, I think it's just they're a weird one because they're so hot and cold. Like 1 week they can be unbelievable. Like everyone just clicks, everyone just works hard, then they go and lose to Sheffield United. So I think they're still definitely up there in the title race, of course. But will they find the consistency? I do not know. Like I feel like Man City and Liverpool have that consistency. Obviously, winning titles over the past few years. I think it's between them two, to be honest.
I think United are too reliant on their attack, and when you look at them playing against the last couple of games, like you look at Rashford and Bruno Fernandes, Martial's been awful all season, but Rashford and Bruno going out of form is like it's the worst time possible, really.
Yeah,
the defense is just too shady for me to.
I think
do anything.
They lack a striker. Like I rate Cavani. I think he's a good player, but he can't play every single week because
too old, yeah.
Because he's quite old. The physicality. So I think without Martial, they need another forward. And Greenwood hasn't really been as good this season as last season.
Yeah, off the back of last season, he was quality. He was scoring pretty much every week, but he's just been a quiet one this season as well. So
I think the England thing's thrown him off completely.
Yeah, since that, he's been terrible.
Foden bounced back in a positive way, but Greenwood just seemed to disappear after that. I think it's down to Solskjaer and Pep, to be honest. Like, I think
definitely not confidence.
Yeah.
And Leicester and Everton also had bad results at the weekend. Leicester lost to Leeds at home 3-1, and Everton lost 2-0 to struggling Newcastle at home. Do you think either of them will get top four, or do you think they're just too inconsistent?
I don't think Everton will. I think Leicester might still, but I can't see
I don't know about Leicester though. I think like literally it's just seen like without Vardy they can just be nothing. Like
I don't think they were that bad though against Leeds. Do you think they were that bad? I think it's quite an even game. They battered them 1-1 for ages, but they just got counter-attacked twice and that was it really. Whereas Everton, I thought, were completely lacklustre. They didn't look bothered again.
Yeah,
I think
they're weird.
I've always said Everton are just full of rejects for me. Like Gomez, Barca reject, Yerry Mina, Barca reject. Oh yeah, they Walcott for a bit. There's other players that just all seem to be rejects. Like Digne as well.
James is kind of a reject, even though he is class. Like, but you can still class him as a reject. Like.
I think they think they're better than they are. A lot of them, especially if you're seeing them live as well. Their attitudes, like Richarlison, people like that. They're so arrogant for me. They don't put in the work that Leicester do on the Rodgers and stuff.
Yeah, Ancelotti was absolutely fuming afterwards as well.
I can't blame him. They were terrible.
Yeah, don't blame him.
They were honestly awful that game.
Yeah, I think Leicester as well. Like they just lack. But when Vardy's not there, they don't have Madson's got a few goals this season, but that clinical one chance.
Yeah, like Vardy can always take it no matter what.
It's definitely a long shot for Leicester, but I think they're more likely than Everton for me. Just about.
Yeah.
I think Harvey Barnes, though, obviously scored. I think he's been.
He's playing well this season, like very well.
Do you think he deserves a chance for England, or?
It's hard to say no when he's got 7 goals this season. It's more than most strikers have, but it's like just with England's wingers, it's such a bad position to play if you want to break through to an England squad. Like
I feel like it's
Rashford, Sterling.
Yeah, it's getting close to the Euros now. It's like, do you really want him for the Euros? Like, will he get ahead of our other forwards? Probably not. So it's probably a bad time for him to be in the England squad.
Definitely a bad time. Yeah, give it 5 years ago to be him in the heartbeat. I think with our
exactly. Yeah,
kind of Walcott people like that.
Yeah, another player scored, English player, Bamford. Do you think he deserves a shot at England, or do you think
not for me? He gets so many chances at Leeds. He won't get nearly as much against a big team for England. He's a good player for Leeds.
Yeah, he is very good. He is very good. And for Leeds, like they need someone like that. to get him off the table scoring goals. So
He helps the players around him as well, Bamford. I think he's not just a goal scorer.
Yeah,
he has so many chances, I believe.
Yeah, I think he has really good hold-up play.
Yeah, definitely.
He got 2 assists, didn't he? Against
exactly,
Leicester.
Yeah, 2 assists and a goal.
And a goal.
Afterwards, he took himself. I
saw that actually. Yeah.
Yeah, he'd be gutted. Big week in FPL. Conall, how'd you get on?
39 points, so not a great week. 9 below the average. Looking behind my shoulder at a few lower league players, which is a bit worrying. I had Fabianski against Liverpool and Dawson, so I got lucky to get anything out of that with the Dawson goal. However, my Dawson goal killed out my Robertson and Trent clean sheet. I had Diaz who got 8 points. I captained Mahrez. That was a massive mistake. Obviously, he didn't play at all. Luckily, I have Foden vice captain, who at least got a clean sheet point, got me 6. Then Fernandes, Rashford, and Smith Rowe all got me 3 in the 0-0 draw. So that kind of got much worse for me that game. I also had Firmino, who didn't even start, and then came on and got an assist. And none of my bench played, including Eric Dyer and Ashley Barnes. So yeah, not a great week.
You did all right defensively, but attacking wise.
Yeah, I couldn't work out what I thought with that Dawson goal, because obviously it's killed 2 of my clean sheets, but Craig Dawson scored for me. So he's been an absolute unbelievable pick, I guess you could say. Yeah. Craig Dawson, put him in if you haven't got him, mate. Oh, it's unreal, cheap as well.
He is a goal scorer.
It's goal scorer and clean sheets.
You're still in 5th, but you're sitting in 7th. No, 7th now.
Bottom in it, second bottom.
Yeah.
You had a slightly better week than Conall, 40 points.
I did. Yep, 40 points, but not as I want. Sam above me had a good week, which meant I'm not gonna. I'm to be fair, I'm about 50 points behind Sam, so I feel like I could get in there. I think my downfall, I've had Werner in the whole season, and obviously he's not getting any points. And I know as soon as I take him out, he's going to score. But my midfield has been. It looks good on paper, but just this week it wasn't up to scratch. Guaita got me some bonus points in net. Then we've got Matt Target with the clean sheet, and that's about it really. But I feel like my main talking point is my game week this week. I've done a few changes. We've got Jesus coming in against Burnley. I know we were speaking about him earlier, but I feel like he might get a few goals. I finally brought in Diaz. I feel like he should be getting a clean sheet. And
a bit too late, I think. Watch them start conceding now after amazing clean sheet.
Yeah, that's true. And a little dark horse. I think I'm going to put Werner on the bench and bring in Adoy, who's on my bench. And I feel like against Spurs, Adoy will attack that left quite a lot and get maybe an assist, maybe even a goal or 2. So I think I'm looking quite good, but I don't know who to captain. That's the issue.
You ever going to take Werner out?
No.
No.
It's. I think he's. To be fair, one of the awkward points where he's just that not enough money to if I take him out, the only person I'll probably bring in is an Antonio. It's
that's exactly what I've been. If you look at his run, you might think twice.
Yeah, I know. I had him in before he had injured, and then I put in Bamford, and obviously Bamford wasn't scoring, so I took him out before this week. He's scoring, so that's why I'm just having a stinker. But you know what? That is literally why I'm that far down. But I don't know the captains, but yeah, I don't think I'm going to get anywhere.
I went Mahrez again for my captain, even though he didn't play last week. He's got to play this week, surely.
I think I might keep Fernandes, to be honest. Southampton, they are a good team, but
not great at the moment, Southampton.
Yeah,
I had a slightly better week. I got 50 points. I've moved above Alfie, who everyone knows is the biggest head of the fantasy group. I'm buzzing to move above him by 4 points.
A huge jump.
I'm now just about 80 points behind Cal, so I'm gunning for Cal. But I had fairly similar. I had Edison and Wan-Bissaka got me points in defence. Cresswell got me assists. I had unreal shout Callum Wilson up front, 2 goals against Everton. I also had Firmino, Son, Sterling who didn't play, and Captain Fernandes who did nothing. So other than Wilson, I had a pretty bad week, but he just about saved me and put me ahead of Alfie.
nice.
And obviously, Conall, you had a great weekend.
Great weekend by £28. Yes, it's brilliant. I had 89p left in my account, so I've just decided to put it on. If I can get it up. I put it on Sunderland Gillingham draw in 12:30, which I didn't know was a 12:30. I put that as a draw because I saw the odds were really good. Gillingham just won 3-0 against a good team, and Sunderland are bad at home. So Gillingham scored in the 90th minute to make it 2-2. And then after that, I had 5 relatively predictable games. I had City to beat Sheffield United, Swansea to beat Rotherham, Hull to beat Swindon, Derby to beat Bristol City, and Brentford to beat Wickham. I did cash out just shy of £20. I should have let it go because it ended up all coming in. And I would have won £25, £26 or something like that.
May not seem a lot, but considering your recent history,
yeah, 3 months without a win, I think, something like that. I remember at the start of the season, I had 3 wins in a couple of weeks. I won weirdly on the United Spurs one. I had both teams to score a penalty when you won 6-1. And I had loads of wins back then, but yeah, since then nothing. So very happy with my £20.
I'd throw away his weekly £2.50 on Timo Werner hat trick.
21 weeks in a row. He still hasn't scored a hat trick, but it still don't mean we're not going to do it. So hopefully next week. But I didn't actually do an ACCA this week. I thought, you know what, I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to have a break from an ACCA, stick it on Werner, but then next week I'm going back in with the ACCAs. So I'm not doing too well. To be fair, no matter what, I'll be losing this money, but it still won't overtake the fact that we won 350 quid on Son and Kane. I'm still up just because of that bet. So
yeah, obviously that's one of the only bets I didn't put on around that time. Was that one?
I was very close. I had a accumulator. I've stuck a quid on Palace to beat Wolves, City to win, Swansea to win, Brentford to win, Arsenal United draw, and Villa to beat Southampton, and it all came in other than Fulham, who drew 2-2. So I was absolutely gutted. Would have been
That is heartbreaking.
Did you have a cash out option? I know, because obviously they
a game.
Yeah,
I was a bit gutted with that, to be honest. And all the results come in after Fulham and drawn.
Yeah, that is. I hate that one team.
Fulham should have won that game easy, which makes it even harder to take. They were absolutely. They should have been 3-0 up at half time in the second half. Allardyce masterclass somehow turned it around. God knows how.
Draw as well, but then I was like, no, Fulham have been decent recently, and then.
No, yeah, they were well on course to win that. It's just so unlucky.
Just gutting. And then we had a few questions. Well, we only got about 3 questions, even less than last. It was a bit disappointing. That's
not good. That's
fine. We got a question from Alfie Mitchell here. Is Bruno Fernandes the best player in the Premier League right now?
No, I don't think so.
I think 3 weeks ago I'd have said maybe yeah, but right now I agree. Yeah, don't think so.
Yeah, he needs to perform more against the top 6 sides. I feel like obviously he's world class. He's been a massive part of Man United's success this season. But I feel like players like De Bruyne, they do turn up on the big games, and he hasn't done that this season. So
you say he is right now the best player in the Premier League?
I think the attackers are so inconsistent. I think you've got to give it to a Diaz or someone because just someone. I don't know.
I think a Gundogan. I think he's so underrated. He's been unreal for City, but I think it's either. Well, I would say De Bruyne, but you can't rule out saying someone like a Gundogan or a Diaz and the impact they've had this season.
Yeah,
Salah as well coming back into it. 15. How can you argue 15 goals? Like that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
and obviously Son and Kane as well. They're up there, of course.
Yeah, I'd say a bit of a different shout. Grealish could be.
Yeah, definitely. He's right up there.
Definitely agree with this.
Tommy said, "Is James Milner a top quality baller?"
No, he's dead.
He's good to have in your team, but I wouldn't say he's a top quality baller.
I'm saying is they brought him off against West Ham and they scored 3 goals and won 3-0. So
yeah.
Question.
So it's a weird time to ask that question for sure.
The wrong time.
Abdi said, "What was the hardest thing about football for yourself?" I just want to answer this and say probably playing with you because you never see the ball ever. To Abdi answering this question.
Yeah, Abdi. I mean, we did have a load of bants in training and getting told off by Brent it's a highlight playing with you, but I feel like, actually no, I don't know. His switches were top class. Abdi, your switches were top class. So.
Yeah, I'm only joking. I'd probably say my height. Probably
I just think the fitness.
Wait, what's the question? Sorry, the hardest thing about
playing football for yourself. Well, he said about football. I guess he means playing football.
Oh, speed for me. speed. I'm so slow. But I think that's why I never could play 11-a-side, because I just get outpaced by anyone. Literally anyone.
Obviously, I would like a bit of pace, but I just feel like having like that season for Fishersgate, I was still scoring the goals. It didn't matter about the speed when you had Alba up there. He was the speed demon, and I was just the finisher. So I definitely think the fitness, but it shows in our six-a-side. We all need a bit of fitness.
Fitness comes though with football, which we're not playing at the moment. Like, I think we play weekly in Sunday League. We get fitter.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's true.
The last one wasn't really a question. It was just Jose out. I wouldn't think yet, but I wouldn't be too.
Who said that?
But he's
Rob?
Ollie.
Oh.
But I'd say not out, but on his open.
He needs to start getting the results, or
he's on the ropes definitely. He's on the ropes.
Yeah. He's in the mud. He's trying to crawl out the mud, but it's just keeping getting thicker and thicker each week. So
I think Ollie, I think he's a bit dramatic there, Ollie, and don't need to say Joe's out yet, but I'd say he's on the way out, and
I keep him for the final, definitely.
Yeah, I don't think there's any
100%.
point really, because we're not going to be great whoever's manager it's us at the moment. So I wouldn't get rid of him yet, but I'd say he needs to sort it out.
Yeah, definitely. Also, can we speak about the Matty Cash quick? How he's got away with that is we have to speak about it. How's he got away with that is a joke.
Yeah, I don't really know how they didn't give that as a penalty.
That rivals the Manchester City offside decision. That's right up there for me. Because at least the City ones, maybe even, because at least the City one's sort of a bit confusing. Well, not really, not from like me, in my opinion, but you can't justify that handball. That's crazy. I'd be fuming if I was Southampton fan.
He literally saved it. Like,
did they come out and explain why they didn't give it, or?
Yeah, it's because it came off his leg. Mike Dean said because it hit his leg first, it doesn't deem it to be a handball. But you can't say it's coming in. It's still coming in. He can move his hand out the way. It's terrible.
Personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
it's done.
There's something weird going on with Villa. They even have a shocking decision against them, or really good one for them, like the one that kept them up against Sheffield.
Sheffield, yeah.
But
that is weird.
I don't really know how that wasn't given, and
the offside as well, just to rub the salt in the wounds for Southampton. It is offside, but
the line looked wonky. On the
it's weird. Also, what happens is wearing long sleeves? How are they meant to find the exact same bit of sleeve that was on Ings' shirt from a long sleeve shirt? I don't understand it at all.
If I was a Southampton fan, I would be absolutely raging.
Oh, phew.
If it's short sleeve is literally that much longer, he's onside. That's what really confuses me.
Yeah.
But what if another kit make has longer sleeves? It's generally unfair. Do you know what I mean? It's genuinely unfair. It's so weird.
Stuff like this happening every week. I think there's got to be something done. At least that's something to talk about. But when it's happening every week, it's just it's laughable, really.
Another thing I caught my about refs, know that rule where the offside, when someone's offside, they let it play on. I saw against the Tottenham Brighton game, Trossard was through, he was offside.
Yeah.
Then someone clamped him and he was down. Yeah. And then the flag and then he put the flag up. It's someone can go through there, break their legs, and then the ref just puts the flag up. He just should be offside when he touches.
I think there's an easy fix for that. I think if it's a clear goal scoring opportunity, you keep your flag down, and if you're not sure if it's not 20 feet offside, and if it's not a clear goal scoring opportunity, they should put their flag up. Who cares? It might have been a score anyway.
Well, it happened with Pickford and Van Dijk, didn't it? He was offside and Pickford.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then Pickford can't get a card because it's technically
offside. Yeah.
No, the thing is, he could have got a card for it. I remember it's come completely off topic, but they came out. They came out and said they were too busy focusing on the offside, and they could have sent him off. They just didn't look at it. Yeah.
But why can't they? If it's clearly Trossard was so obviously offside.
Oh, I know. Yes.
Yeah.
They could have injured him for a long time.
Yeah, it's just it's a rule they can just change. It's so easy to fix.
Yeah.
But it's a weird one.
Yeah.
But no, yeah.
Well, thank you for watching. Thank you both for coming on.
Pleasure to be back.
Yes, thank you.
Hopefully,
thank you very much.
We'll be talking about Spurs win next week after Spurs.
No chance.
That'll be good if we're on again.
Yeah, true. That'll be a great one next week.